Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I have a guest with me, an amazing guest with me. Her name is, I'm gonna call her Miss Banks. Just give us on spit. Just to make her feel special. I'm gonna call her Miss Banks and make her feel special because she is a special person. She has survived a lot in her life. She is the theme of don't give up in her life. And I met her on this program that I'm doing to start a business. And she came out as a positive person. You know, she was in hospital and she was still in the meetings. That she had perseverance in her life. Miss Banks, welcome to the Don't Give Up Our podcast.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for a marvelous introduction.
So the flyer said you had a brain tumor and plus you have aphasia.
hmm
And tell us what happened to you.
Um, well, what actually happened to me was I was going, no, I was, no, I used to work all the time, just go to work all the time. I worked. And so I would go see, I had been going seeing a neurologist, a neurological doctor at Wellstar Hospital. And I had been going because I had been having headaches, and he was just giving me medication. He medicated everything, and he had seen me on the MRIs and everything, so he knew what was going on in my head. And then at the time that my husband wanted to have a baby, so I had to go do a workup. I had to go do a workup at my GYOBN, and I had did my it was like an annual checkup, and I did all my checkups and stuff, and everything passed. And then the doctor said, well, except one thing, my doctor said he kept telling me, said something's going on because my prolactin levels was really really high. They were so elevated. So he did blood work on me and make sure he checked my thyroid, and then um he did blood work, and then he sent me to do an MRI. At that time, it was the Atlanta Medical Hospital. Excuse me, my mouth get dry. And when I went, I had been there so long. I was so angry by the fact that I was there so long because I was there for hours. It was like they had me in the MRI like 4 hours. They did it with and without MRI. And they just kept saying, wait. And when I left there, it didn't dawn on me that I did not get my CT scans or even my reports for my CT scans. And because I was so mad because I had been there so long and I was just frustrated because I'd be nervous about being in those chambers. And they said, well, you're going to have to talk to your doctor. Your doctor going to give you reports. They said that to me and it never done to me. So I went back to go see my doctor, in which again, he was an OB-GYN. Um, and he told me, he said, I got some news for you. He said, I got good news and bad news. The good news in his eyes, because I did not want to have a baby. So he was like, the good news is you're not pregnant. But then when he rolled his chair over to her and grabbed my hand, then he said, the bad news is you got a tumor. And it grows in the pituitary. It's a pituitary adenoma. Then I've also had cerebral, but it grows in the control center of your brain. And for a lot of people who think they normally hit prolactinoma, they'll think that's nothing. That's a drop in the bucket, but it's not, because the key words are refusing to listen to is control center of your whole body, the control center of your brain. And when I started going to the after I started, I started going to a neurologist and going regularly. And again, like I said, they had me treating, taking the medication, and I had to go through treatment. And they do a procedure in which they go up your nose to get the tumor out. But they still tell you, they say, well, you're not going to feel anything. It's not going to do anything to you. Like it's just it's plain, it's easy. It's a simple tumor. And I'd say a year and a half later, after they said that it was after I had been diagnosed, um, which I was diagnosed June 24th, 2011. And right after I was diagnosed, Like I said, nothing happened. Nothing. They kept saying, nothing's gonna be happening. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. And I had to take this medicine called cabergoline. And shortly after, like I said, a year and a half later, I started doing things. It was like my body was like I started having seizures for one. Then I started having seizures. Then I would be driving and I would blank out. And I'm not like blank out as in go to sleep. It's as in if I shut my eyes and I open my eyes back up, I don't know my surroundings at all. And being that I've been born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia, I know my surroundings. But I would blank out and not know my surroundings. I would not know where I was going, where I was, who were my numbers in my phone. I wouldn't know anything, and I used to panic behind it. I used to really just really have to have panic attacks because I had to pull over, and it was just I didn't know anything. And I used to go and tell my doctors like this is happening to me, and they just look at me like I was crazy, like as if I wasn't telling them the truth or something. But um, when they started, one time I left my job, I was at work. It happened at my job, and after it happened at my job, they couldn't deny it anymore. So then that was when I came. Not I did on my job, and I came home, and then I started having seizures. And then like I said, I was having seizures. Seizures were even was bad. I was still having those conditions. I was also having conditions to where my body, my body. If I wake up in the morning, sometime I can't move my body, but I can move I can talk to you and I'm coherent, but I can't move anything. And it's up until sometimes it may last an hour. It has lasted all day before, but I can't move. I can't do anything. I can't do anything. And then also what happens too is like my my nerves, they'll ache, my spine. I had to get spinal injections, epidurals. Um, they put me on high pain medications and different cause they was treating me like I was crazy. At first they tried to give me medication for like anxiety, or medications that they was like with a sequel. I'm gonna tell you the name. Seroquel. They had tried to give me that, but I wouldn't take it. I said no, I'm not crazy. I'm trying to tell you what's actually happening. And then I started having to go to the epilepsy clinic to get monitored. Then I was having to get monitored at home. And then the monitoring, they would see it. They would see it happening, but they couldn't read it. They would see it. They would actually physically be monitoring me 24/7 at Emory Hospital, and they would see it, but they couldn't see it on the charts or on the paper. And that's when they seen it and they say, yes, we see that you are having seizures, but it's not reading. We see you, we're watching you, we see it, but it couldn't be read. And that was something that they're then still to this day have been trying to work towards that. But I do take seizure medicine. I take 7 seizure pills a day, morning and night, and that has been sustaining my seizures. But like I said, doctors have told me that I've had Alzheimer's dementia one time, when it came to my aphasia, and doctors didn't know. Doctor had mis diagnosed me, as well as was basically going to give me the wrong medication for the Alzheimer's, and then happened to go see a speech therapist, and the speech therapist happened to say, "No, Indrian, are you aware that you have aphasia?" And I was like, "I have aphasia." Yes, you have aphasia. And then she proceeded to make an appointment with a doctor, and the doctor told me that yes, I had aphasia. But it was like going through conversations. I would have conversations. I probably sure I just did it just then. I have conversations where I'm in my speech or I'm in my conversation, and I'll forget what I'm telling you, and I'll say it again maybe, or I'll ask you what did I just say, because I'll lose my train of thought, and that happens to me, and that's like a part of aphasia. And one key factor that people don't know is that over 200,000 people in the USA live with aphasia, but not many people. It's over 30% of the population that even knows that aphasia even exists, even for the healthcare professionals and stuff that went to nursing school and medical school, because medical school, they don't even know what aphasia is. They don't remember the term. They don't know what it is. And I know it's been taught because I remembered it after I was told that I had it. And that was causing me, like I said, it was causing me to forget conversations. The aphasia focuses your memory. It controls your focus. It basically takes hold of your everyday life. It takes It takes your memory control. It makes you irritable. It makes you you just can't do anything. Like you can't even read your books. You can't go through your mail. You can't go to check to see if you pay. You got to go back and see. If, some days if it's really bad, you can't pick up a mail and check. If you have a bill, you can't go and check it because you can't focus. It won't allow you to do anything. It's like your brain is just spinning on the app, so that it never stops. It never stops, and it's like you try to figure it out and you lay down, you get back up, but when you try to get back up, it won't allow you. You can't not move. It's almost like your body's just frozen. You frozen and you just looking, but you can't move. Your body is just physically so drained, so tired all the time. No matter what you do, you're just tired. Yeah, it's like the life is being sucked out of you, and um and it's just it makes people that suffer from it, in which mostly people from that have brain tumors and strokes. We are the main people that have aphasia, and it makes us not want to deal with people. It makes us shut away and lock ourselves away from everybody because of when you're communicating, you have the communication difficulties, and instead of them thinking of it, people just be looking at you strange, or some people are not even correct you on it. Even if you tell them. So I make it known to tell everybody. I'm like, wait, hey, I have aphasia. So if I'm talking to you and if I say something to you more than one time, tell me I said it to more than one time. Or if, like, for even with me in aphasia, even with the tumor, I would think I had just done something maybe a day or two ago, and then it would be sometimes it then I just done it weeks ago, and my sons be like, "No, mom, you been done that. Mom, you already told me to do." And I said, "Yes, I no, I didn't. No, I didn't." They tell me I did, and come to find out, 9 times out of 10, I did. And it pushes your body like in the stance. Like for me, I have what's called clustering aphasia, in which my words they run together, and you don't know what I'm saying. You don't know what I'm saying at all. And for other people that have the speech part of it, and I have the speech too, as to how I stutter and miss my words sometimes. But some people, you have the speech as into they can't really get out a word to you that they're trying to say, and they keep trying, but it's like sometimes no matter how hard you try, you just can't get it right, but you have to keep going. You can't shut down, you can't stop, you got to keep going. And for me, it was like all my family's always been close knit, but when my grandmother died, my family broke apart, and my family was always loving and just everybody was always there. And it was like when at first I hid it. I told nobody. I locked myself in my bedroom. I told no one. And then when I finally, my husband should tell me, you got to stop being like that. You got to stop being like that. But at the time I was married, going through it. So you got to stop being like that. And I said, being like what? And he was like, you acting funny. And it wasn't acting funny. It was that I had to explain. I had to keep explaining myself over and over again to what's happening to me. I had to keep explaining it. And it was just like not nobody still was comprehending it. They was just like, oh, you can talk now. You fine. You ain't nothing wrong with you. You fine. But they still not listening to what you say. And then when you lash out at them for them keep coming at you a certain way or keep treating you when you tell them, I don't understand that right now. Wait, give me a moment. Just back away for a second because right now I'm trying to gather my thoughts because I don't know right now. Just give me a second. You bombarded me. You can't bombard us with questions, in which always going to lead a lack of communication with your significant others, your family, because if even for me, example, my husband used to always bombard me with questions. What you do? Where you been? What you? And he would ask me so many questions, till I would just stop and just look at him because he bombarded me with all these questions, and I don't understand at this point. I don't understand nothing you're saying. I'm just looking at you because you overloaded me. It's like brain overload. My brain is on fire. Stop, which led to a lot of time conversations. He thought I was lying to him about certain things, but I wasn't. It was that my lack of communication due to aphasia. I couldn't do anything. The perfect way I think to explain the aphasia, now that I can kind of go back and think about it, is your body is going in slow motion. It's like you the bionic man. You saying I'm coming, but you think you're going fast, but you're not. You're slow. I have to get my clothes out at nighttime to get up to go and to go to a doctor's appointment anywhere I have to go. And then at first I had to love him. My family wasn't really. into it. Then my husband and my sons, they was carrying the load. And then my husband got to where he was thinking I wasn't, like I said, the lack of communication, he wasn't listening to me. Even I would explain everything to him. If he asked me a question, I would go answer the whole entire day. Even with me answering the entire day, he was kind of like still looking at me crazy because I figure if I tell you the entire day, I need something in there you're gonna use. Something in there gonna be what you want to hear. He began to lash out at me. Um, he started fighting me, and but he was I couldn't believe, but he was also the same person that put me on the bedpan, white man, learned how to give me my seizure medicine. I mean, learn how to give me my shots, learn which medicines I needed to take. Um, he learned everything, but then he started lashing out and just doing like mean stuff and just being just so disrespectful for me. And I guess I don't know if it's because of my I figure it was because of my brain tumor because he was going around and telling a lot of people that she has a brain tumor. Oh, but she don't, she ain't gonna be here that long, and all this foolishness. But it was just kind of like he pulled away. It was like everybody was kind of pulling. My sons was pulling away because I was becoming so much more needier. I was so becoming needier and needing somebody to help me for this and help me for that because I've been out my house and like I've been at home. I haven't been at work in 3 years, so I've been home, and then I ended up getting COVID. I got COVID from my husband. He went to Thailand in the middle of the pandemic, and I ended up getting COVID, and I ended up going into the hospital. He came home. He came home on March the 12th, and I ended up going into the hospital. It affected me so bad. I went in the hospital March the 17th. I stayed in there a month. I coded. Um, I didn't have energy to talk to nobody. I didn't have energy to see or anything. I mean, not see, but I couldn't open my eyes. My eyes were just so weak. I lost a lot of weight. I came home 124 pounds. I never ate every single day for a month in the hospital. I threw up every single day in the hospital. I could not eat nothing, nothing. And then when I was discharged home, I was discharged with oxygen, and then I was discharged. I couldn't walk. I was in wheelchair. And so at the time, my husband was being admitted into the hospital, and I was home by myself because you really can't be with nobody. And my son, and then my mother in law, she would come. They come. Them two came because he had to come feed the dogs because they know him, and he would come and empty out my makeshift toilet, and he would just come and check it out. He was the only one, but I tried not to have him, too exposed to me because I was still in quarantine. Um, then through that, even with that, going through that and having to go back and forth and get checked, it took me where everybody else they quarantined 14 days. It was like a month before my actual quarantine, before I can come out the quarantine enough to be healthy enough to go um, out the house. And then I started going to the Emory started calling me in because initially they were calling us for testing, and they was kind of testing us and using our bloods to see if if the whatever if the plasma in our blood was like a cure for other people, like with the COVID. But with the COVID, you in the hospital, you in there. Nobody can come in the room but the doctors, the the nurses, the techs. And a lot of time the nurses was in the techs because it was so many nurses that was getting COVID, and they was running out of them, so they had to kind of utilize the techs more than they could the nurses. And me being in there watching one nurse, she was a new nurse. She saw I came in, I was so sick because when I got there, my lungs was 90% infected. When they got me to my room, she was supposed to start my antibiotics immediately. She didn't. She went up. She was so nervous after seeing how I looked at just how bad I looked and how I looked it. She ran. She ran out my room, ran to the front desk, told them she was sick. She needed to go home. So I had to wait for a nurse to come in and give me my medicine. She had to give me my medicine pronto, and she almost called me and sent me to ICU during then that day as well. But I thought about it, and I sit and I go through it, and I still think, okay, my family, okay, my husband has basically abandoned. My husband has basically abandoned me. My sons, they'll help me, but they frustrated and they talk rudely to me. Um, Except for my baby boy, he don't he always just been my sweetest pie. But um it was just me thinking about all that everything was that all this stuff was happening, everything was hitting me at once, and it was like too much. And my mom, My mom just really like she didn't want to really have she didn't have much to do with me, and I know it's because of her own battles. And it's like if I called her, she just didn't have she wasn't in a mood. She wasn't in the mood to talk, or she didn't come to the house to see me, or she wasn't. But she was going through it in the end. She got to where she started calling me, and she'll send me she would send me Christian quotes and little stuff, and then she would send me scriptures, and then she'll call me sometimes. She still don't call me as much, but she'll call me. And then I remember even when I've been in the hospital I had to just get a spinal fusion. I had to get a spinal fusion, March 1st, um, from injuries that I had and sustained by domestic abuse. And by that, she called me, and I remember calling her. I was like the second day in, and I called her. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, "Mom, Mom, I'm hurting so bad. I'm hurting. I don't know what I'm doing." And she for the first time, and I mean, since I was like a little girl, she said, "What you want me to do?" I said, "Pray, Mom, just pray for me, pray." So I started telling her just to pray for me, because at that moment, my body felt like the pain was, it was so much. It was so much. It was too much. It was so much. Too much. Even too much to bear. It's like it was so many needles that's going through my body. And at that time, I was just like, "Oh my God!" And she was praying, and she was praying, and it was so amazing that she just kept praying, and she was praying all the way through. But even with that being, I was happy about it because she helped me go through it, and I was able to lay back down some. But then I was still in their bed, like, what else do I have to lose? Cause I'm tired. I can't do this no more. I'm at my end. I'm at my wit's end. I can't do this. I can't do this. And then I think about even my profession. Everybody know I love nursing, and everybody know that all my patients. There has never been a patient that I haven't had that has not loved me, and I love them. And we always had a special relationship. I don't know if like my God just sent me them as my gift to learn nurturing to love. But it's like my clients and my patients, I love them. I love them so much. And a lot of times I'll think about that because I've been here and I've had people steal out of my house, um, people not wanting to, just do right by what they should be doing, do right by me because I'm, being in the bed. And like I said, I had been at that point in the hospital. I was thinking when I was feeling all those needle sticks in my body, I was just giving up. And I was just saying, I can't do this. I can't do it. I'm tired, Lord. Just take me. I'm tired. Just take me. And I have this church member that always called me and send me her name. She always called me and send me scriptures, and I always say, "Okay, it's Thursday. Log on, little mama," because I have camp group with my church EBC. And then my stepmom is always, she's always been like she take over. She cook for me. I go to her house. Yeah, like we always been like that because I've always loved to go to her house and watch play puzzles and do jigsaws and watch Hallmark with her. So she's always been. But it was a moment. I think I'm not sure, but I think that she thought I was acting funny with her because I wasn't coming around, but it wasn't that. I was just sick. And I thought back to what she said, and somebody sent me a message. Um, Somebody sent me a message, and then somebody sent me a message with on I think it was on my link account, my business account, and she sent me a message, and they was telling me, don't change. They say saw my story because I would hide that I was sick, and so finally I posted it, and I started sharing it, and somebody sent me a message, and they said that keep going, keep your head up because God, He has you in the position that you're in for a reason. Your suffering is not for you. Your suffering is for the people that's around you. It's for the people around you. It's not only to teach you a lesson, but show other people to see what's going on. And from that moment, I heard they was telling me keep names like you inspire me. I've had people tell me you inspire me. You got injury. No, my cousin Renita, I can call her and tell her something crazy and I'm like I'm tired. Like one day when I was trying to go to surgery and I couldn't. Everybody kept denying my surgery, and I called her on the phone and I said I'm tired. I'm tired. I want to die. I give up. I can't do this no more. She said on the phone. I stayed on the phone with her from on my front porch. I was on my front porch from 3 a.m. in the morning to maybe I know it was 7 a.m. in the morning because the sun had let rise on us. And she was sat in the bed and she just cried with me. She said, "You're not being fair. You're not being fair." I said, "What you mean I'm not being fair?" She said, "You're not being fair to me. And you got Mook here crying, and Mook is her youngest son." She said, "You have Mook here crying. You're not being fair to me. You're not being fair to him." I said, "No, y'all not being fair to me because ain't none of y'all really understanding what I'm telling y'all what's happening to me." And to sit and hear her cry and me always knowing, saying, me thinking like, okay, it's got to be something better, Lord. It's got to be something better. And I kept praying and I kept praying and I kept saying, sometimes when I don't have the words to say, I'll just say thank you or thank you, Lord, or Jesus. Even when I can't put a word out my mouth, I would say that. And it just always dawned in my head that I'm here. I'm here for a reason. I don't had all these different episodes or different things, these attacks, these different things that happened to me. And I said them to you guys together so you'll see that all these things that don't happen, you never know who's going through something worse. No, everybody has trials, everybody has tribulations, and it's meant for us to try to just. If my grandma used to tell me, if you can look up, then you can surely get up. You can get up. If you can look up, you can get up. And so that's why I started sharing my story, and I even started a brain tumor walking team. Last year was my very first time. I didn't get to walk because I had a seizure. So I didn't get to walk it, but I did raise funds for the walk and I had a team, in which I'll be doing the same thing this year. And I notice and I look on Instagram, I look on my accounts and I see different people who had just like it's a child that was just lost. He was lost to brain tumor. Another guy lost his wife to a brain tumor, and it's like I can't help but to go on their page because I see that's what I'm interested in because I know the stuff that I've been through, and I go on their page and I say something to them, and it's like everything I say is like I don't know, for some reason I go on their page and I just pour my heart out, and I thought about it, I said, everybody keeps saying, even my son sent me a, I was so upset. My son sent me a text message and he said to me, "Mom, I don't know what's going on, but Mama, we need you. You can't leave us. If you leave us, we're going to be lost, Mama. We're going to be lost. Mom, what you need me to do?" And it was just basically, he just sent me this message and it was like he was just pouring his heart out. And he just kept coming to my room, "Mama, Mama," knocking on the door, "Mommy, you hear me? Mama." And a lot of times I wouldn't say nothing to him because I was so crushed that I couldn't say nothing. And like I said, I started saying Jesus, saying thank you. And I always, everybody know I love music. And it's one song that I love to death. And it's a song called um, Nothing. Oh, How I Love the Name Jesus. And it's by Kurt Franklin. And that song, I kept listening. Even I kept feeling, and I'm thinking, okay, well, this is it. Because by this time, I was already on the walker wheelchair. I'm still in the walker wheelchair more so lately, but I'm doing rehab right now, physical therapy to try to walk again. And I said, you know what, God keep saving me, and I'm so foolish. I keep trying to take me out, and He trying to save me.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
trying,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I said,
yeah, yeah, yes. And this topic is called breathe. What when you say breathe, what do you mean? When you say breathe, what do you mean when you say breathe?
when I said breathe, I felt like it was okay to stop holding my breath for life to keep knocking me down. I feel like it was okay to exhale and just take a deep breath and just realize that no matter what knocked me down, God gonna pick me back up because He always does. And start believing that okay, no matter what difficulties I face and I challenge now, that I can still be prevalent. I can still live a life. I can still be productive. Not to judge me because of my difficulties, but also to understand, be willing to learn, and be willing to educate because this is something that's really it's a real for us, and it people need to hear about it because a lot of us use shunning off. I remember hearing about you hear about so many people that kill themselves or do different things because nobody's listening, or or even just because they going through stuff and they can't overcome. They don't know how to. They're not reaching out. They're not praying. They're not believing in themselves. And I've always wanted, and always been a big dreamer. I've always believed and wanted stuff. And so I said, you know what? So how am I gonna be this person if I don't take a deep breath? If I give up, if I'm holding my breath and holding my breath, I'm gonna start breathing. So how am I going to believe in myself? How am I going to take a deep breath if I don't thank God, if I don't thank for the things, the survivals, the things, the trials and tribulations that I've been hit with, if I don't just take a deep breath from it, okay, and armor myself and be ready for whatever happens next. If I don't, do that, then everything was all in vain. I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to love myself enough to make sure that I'm carrying myself on. I'm picking myself up no matter what trial or tribulation. I pray and trust God. And I'm grateful and grateful for the people that's there for me and take care of me and see about me. And like even when I first found out Emory finally did the groundbreaking for a brain tumor center, that was an enlightened moment for me because I struggled through having my tumor, and it was like unheard of. Not to mention my outside appearance of my body, it didn't look like I had a brain tumor. It didn't look like I was suffering from seizures. It didn't look like I was suffering with communication disabilities. It didn't look like that because people still looking at it, and then people also knew the old me. My body reflected and mirrored the old me for everybody else outside of my body. And so I just had to take a breath and think about, okay, it's okay. You can breathe. It's okay. Because what made me think about I can breathe when I got in my support system groups, my support system groups, those groups, it's like we're a family. We stay on the phone with each other. We coach each other through stuff. We pray for each other. We hold each other up. We hold each other up, and that's an amazing feeling because you somebody that's non-judgmental. They're going through the same exact trial that you're going through, and we're holding each other up. It's you lean on me, I lean on you. We're holding each other up, and that's the reason why I said it's okay to breathe.
And what has these experiences taught you in your life? Could you please
Mhm.
tell us that?
These experiences has taught me to be grateful, for the small things, to look at the small things, to cherish the small things, to cherish family, to love family, to cherish your friends, cherish your groups. I mean, cherish people that love on you, love on them, and to be positive, have a positive outlook on life because everything was happening to me, and it was like I was just being knocked down and knocked down and knocked down, and I didn't see no way to where I could get up. But it taught me to just take one foot and put one foot in front of the other and keep going and keep thinking positive and just keep praying.
I have this thing I say push. Pray and praise until something happens. Because as you know, Master, I have strokes at an early age, and all my friends left me and all. It was just being me and God from 11 to 22. So I was a young man who was isolated, alone, depressed. But I see now that those tests and trials have prepared me for this time. So I see that same thing in you. I see that the rain is good sometimes in our lives.
Mhm.
When the rain comes, it gives us water, it gives us nourishment. The rain is not always a bad thing in our lives.
Mhm.
And I see that in you.
Thank you. And you know what? Speaking of being isolated, I self isolated myself from 2011, um, basically up until now, even now. I mean, well, not 2011 to 14, maybe 14, 13, it was 13, I'm 13. And I started going around my family. and going around events and stuff. But then it wasn't a lot of events that I went around, but I still went back and I just always stayed. Like I said, I stayed and locked myself in my room because I couldn't believe what I was going through. I couldn't believe me being a person that has always been smart, honor roll principal is me, deans. I've been smart, and I couldn't even figure out what I need to do, how I need to do it, figuring out my daily life, my daily events, everything that I'm needing to figure out. I couldn't do it, and trying to figure out that. I think I thought about it and I said, you know what? I'm not gonna focus on what I can't do. I'm gonna focus on what I can.
That's right. Because sometimes things happen in life to enhance us.
Hmm.
I say the good, the bad, and the ugly is meant to mold us and to shape us into the person that we're supposed to be.
Hmm. No.
And and what are you doing now? Tell us about that. What are you doing now? We've heard about the experience, we've heard about what you went through. What are you doing now?
Oh, yeah, made me tell on myself. Well, I guess I'm gonna tell you exactly what I'm doing. Um, I am actually doing a work program. It's a work program that helps people with disabilities build companies from scratch. We're having to write out business plans and put our heart and soul into our businesses. And everybody that's in the program, they are coming with businesses. There is something that it's their baby. It's their baby and it means something to them. So my baby that I'm coming with, if I'm creating a home health, creating a home health agency to where I will be to where we're gonna be a cut above the rest. We're gonna be on the top because me being on both sides of the bed, me being a nurse and seeing about people, seeing about clients, seeing about patients, and me being also becoming a patient that's one that's needing somebody to take care of them and needing somebody to basically walk for them, to be their arms for them, to cook for feed for them. I'm going to, not want, I'm going to train individuals that are like minded like myself, enjoy nurturing and loving and going above and beyond the call of duty to make sure people, when you're in need, we're going to see about you. And you're going to be happy. We're going to treat you like family. We're going to treat you about family. We're going to make everything that your life that you was doing before you went down, we're going to make sure you're doing it now still. Now still. Because I've been on both sides of the bed, like I was just saying. And I know what people need. I know what they want. And I'm going to give it to them. And I'm going to give it to them with excellent quality. That's why my company's name is Exquisite Home Healthcare.
Yes, and we met on Synergy Works. Now, when you got the email saying Synergy Works, tell the story about how that affected you.
Oh, wow. When I got an email, I was waiting for the email. It was like, you a kid, you going back, you waiting for Christmas to come. And you're going, you're checking to see if the tree's up on the tree yet. You sneaking your mom said, go back to bed, go back to bed. And I was waiting for that email. I was checking the email, I think maybe 30 minutes. And when I got it, I was like, oh, I was in bed. I couldn't even move. But I was jumping up and down, like, I got an email. I got an email. Oh, oh, oh. Well, then I was like, then I thought about it. I said, oh, man. And then when Slow had text, he said, if you can't take the class for any reason, let us know. And I was due to have surgery on the 1st, and my first class started. I mean, on March the 1st, my first class started. I mean, my throat's been dry, sorry. My first class the second to start March the 2nd. And I kept saying, oh my God, oh Lord, what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna do. I said, oh man, I can't tell Slow, I don't want to be put out my class. No, no, no. So I talked to Kimberly. She's also in our work with our work synergies class.
Yeah.
I told you I call her. That's my parole officer. She's always get the check on that. That's my parole officer. And we have another lady that's you probably met Robin. Robin and she's my other parole officer. So that we talk daily, all day, text, talk. Now they don't start at FaceTime, so I'm in trouble now. But when that's okay, that's one of the moments when I lost my thought. What we was talking about.
That's okay. Take your time. Take your time.
Tell me the answer. Tell me the question again.
Well, how did you feel when you got the email from Synergy Works?
Oh, so I was checking email every 30 minutes. And when I got it, I was in the bed and I was like, So I went in the computer. I said, no. So I put the computer down. I said, that can't be right. Let me go to my phone. I got my phone, checked my phone, and seen the email. I said, what? I was screaming. I was like, oh my God. So I called Kimberly and Robert. I'm in the class, I'm in the class, I'm in the class. But when I got it was so exciting. I was like, oh my God. Then I started saying, can this be true? Is this happening? This ain't happening. This is a joke. Kimberly, is this fraudulent? Kimberly. But it was like I had so many emotions when I it was like when I got on, I logged on. I was in the hospital. I said, I took a dress shirt to the hospital, not thinking the whole time that I was gonna have to wear this. So I didn't think I didn't realize that I couldn't put the dress over my head. So I was like, okay, well, they're gonna have to see me. I'm just gonna have to
Mm-hmm.
log on in my hospital gown. It's what it is. Then when she came in, they said, introduce yourself. I know I was the first person that jumped out the gate. I said, hey, I'm Andrea Banks. I want to start a home health business, and I want a business that's a cut above the rest. Why? Because I believe in giving superior service. Because I was in that hospital, I had maybe two out the bunch of doctors that I had been in the hospital as far as long as I was that had superior, excellent service. And even when I came home, the same thing. And I think I was like, we're gonna be a cut above the rest, and I'm gonna have like-minded individuals, and we're gonna change the industry. It's time for a reformation in healthcare again, like Florence Nightingale did in what 1820 during the Crimean War. She changed healthcare. It's time again. Healthcare has gone to it's gone away, and with the backing and the helping of Synergy, a group like Synergy, and a person that is giving a person that has that as the whole world has told you, you'll never do this again, you're not gonna do that again, and people have shunned you, basically looked down on you, and Synergy did not. Synergy is basically giving us opportunities to live a productive life, live a normal life, because we started accepting our new normal is I can't do this, I can't have that, I can't go here. But Synergy is allowing it, like making it to where we can say, oh yes, I can go there, I can do this, I can do that. It's making us believe in ourselves. It's giving us hope. It's
Yes.
making us be entrepreneurs.
Yes.
We've been told we can't do anything, and some of us can't walk, some of us some of us may be blind, some of us may have different. Was cerebral palsy. Different. We come with different things, but everybody comes with a business that is near and dear to their hearts. It's like you can pour it out because it's something that you did, something you desire to do. You really like to do it. And my thing is always being if you have a job or something that you're working or a career that you're working and you love to do it, and it's not like you're going to work, you're not going to work a day in your life because it's something that you love to do. So you're not at work. So it's so easy to be there. And when
Yes.
it's
It. Yes,
you
it
make
is.
that you're serving happy and you happy at the same time. So it's a whole happy situation.
Yeah. So let's recap this thing. You went through a brain tumor,
Mm-hmm.
had aphasia,
Mm-hmm.
had trouble in your marriage,
Mm-hmm.
but look at you now.
Mm-hmm. And
But
had see.
look at you now. You are standing strong, a very reliable, strong person
Mm-hmm.
because you didn't give up.
Mm-hmm.
You did not give up.
Yep. Not only did I not give up, but you, Robin, and different other ones, Robin, Kimberly, and other members of the group, Amy, and different members of us in the disabled communicate in the community, we haven't given up on each other. We are pushing each other. We are holding each other up. we're making each other be accountable. And you have somebody that's still loving you through it all and helping you through it all because they understand because they have their own trial and tribulation. But we're picking each other up, and I think doing that is making it a better. It's making it a much better experience and a much better trial to go through because not only did I not give up, I had accountability partners to help me not to get up and not get to give up.
Yes, and the more they see us out there doing things like working, like going to restaurants or skiing or doing things like that, their mindset will change.
Mm-hmm.
They will begin to say that they are not invalids, that they are valuable people in this world.
Mm-hmm.
You see, we have a gift inside us,
Mm-hmm.
and it's time for us to show it.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for us to show it.
Somebody told me in my LinkedIn account, they said, you have a light in you. Continue to let it shine. And then even you send me scriptures and quotes every day. It's the words of encouragement all the time. And just those words is like a lifting up. And then I have I mean, even with those words, even with Kimberly, like I said, Kimberly called. I told you I'd be calling her the parole officer. I said I thought I had to get in trouble to have a parole officer, but she said to me, "Adrian, did you do this? Did you like?" We're even going. I forgot to mention we're even going to Washington D.C. to the Hill. It's called To the Hill. We're going to the Hill to talk to the legislators to talk about changes and try to get resources and stuff that we need for the brain tumor community to come to the Southeastern Union down here, I mean, area to us. So we're going up here as brain tumor survivors, and we're going as being advocates to try to talk for us, speak for us, make sure we are getting make sure we're getting people to see what's happening, what changes need to be made. If this is not the same, if that's not the same, we want them to do research, we want them to look, we want them to check, and like even with that, that's a mess major. That's a blessing to be able to go. That's a blessing to come out of the stuff that we've been through to even be able to go, but even to be valued enough that your word means something.
Yes, and we have Amy Wilson. She wrote, "We're not giving up. I am visually impaired with two cancers, and I'm still here. I love you."
And
Thank you. Thank you, Amy, for speaking up for us and everybody else in the world. We need to let the world know that we're here.
mm-hmm,
Let the world know that we're capable. Let the world know that we're not done for.
mm-hmm. We're not. As long as we're still breathing, we can make a change. And it's up to us to make a change. It's up to us to make a difference for us and those who are going to come after us. Because like I said, I look at my different social media accounts and I see the hurt, the pain, the death. And there's so much death right now in the brain tumor community. And like I said, when I was diagnosed, they didn't have a brain tumor center. It wasn't important. Period. No. Now Piedmont also has a brain tumor center. We have walks, the Brain Tumor Foundation. They do our walks. They even do our classes, our aphasia class and our brain tumor support class, as well as I just did what was it, Tuesday. I just did my first episodes to our web. If I say this wrong, Kim is going to kill me. Um, web podcast, and it's myself, and we call ourselves Sisters with Tumors. It's myself, Kimberly, and Robin, and we go on there and we talk about how because we help each other, we walk each other through everything, and we are doing this webcast to that's going to also reach this, and this through the Southeastern Brain Tumor Foundation, and we doing that for them. And I think it's the first webcast, but if I'm wrong, don't kill me. But we're doing that, and we're trying to get more literacy out to the world, and for people to understand what to expect, what to look for, and how to deal, how to cope.
Yes, yes, and your parole officer Kimberly, she said, "Go girl."
Hey, my sister. Look,
Yeah, yeah, she said, "Go girl." So
look.
so you have a lot of people in your corner.
Hmm.
You may not see them, but they're there.
There.
So just know that you and me and all of us in the world, we can make it
Hmm.
if we would just see ourselves as we are. We're overcomers. We're
Hmm.
overcomers in our lives. Look at all things we've been through.
Hmm.
Let me tell you something. If in March of last year, COVID hit, and we're still here. So that means that we are survivors. That means that we are the ones who are
Hmm.
able to sustain ourselves through the hard times.
Hmm.
So if you're still here from March last year to right now, you're an overcomer. You have made it through. You have
Yeah.
made it through. Just know that. Know that for a fact. Own it. I don't care who get mad. Just say, who get mad. Just say, who get jealous. Just say, I'm still here.
Hmm. Still here.
Say,
Yeah.
I am still here.
Still here. Still holding on to his hand. Still here. And even with that, you remember when I talked to you about, when we came on, we met and we had been having the different meetings, and I found out that you had wrote several books. And I came to you and I said, I started the book. I'm trying to finish this book, but I don't know. I'm kind of frozen stuck right now. And you told me, okay, no, you have to think about it like this. Or you told me the way that I should do. And I tell you, I said, well, I'm gonna be calling you because I need you to do this for me.
Yeah, yeah. My whole mission in life is to let people know that it's not over for them. I don't care what you go through, hell or high water, a typhoon, a tornado, a hurricane. We have staying power within us.
Hmm.
The powers in us to overcome.
Hmm. And it's a
And
it's a
I,
power. All you have to do is hold on to it, grab onto it, just grab onto it, and just accept it with open arms. And I promise you, he won't let you down. You might go through some trials and tribulations, but you will never fall. You will never fall, sink, drown, filter. You will never. You will be protected in His hand always.
yeah, and Cameron said, Robin said, stay strong. So you got people like I said, you got people out there in your corner.
Hmm.
You got people
My
cheering
mom.
you on.
My mom called me today and asked me. She said, How do I get on the webcast?" And I remember I got to talk to you and I tried to get on the webcast. And she said, Ash, how do I get on the webcast? And we got her hooked on to the webcast.
Yeah,
And that's the
I
fact that
think
she was on the webcast.
yeah. I think that's your mom. Is her name Margie?
Hmm.
She said that's my fave girl, my fave girl. That's my holy. You are awesome and beautiful. You got this because you're a God fearing woman.
Yeah, my grandmother, I tell you something about like that. My grandmother, she was, I used to tell people I was 8, so please don't take hold against me. I used to tell people, I said, she crazy. All she wouldn't do is go to work in church. Work in church. And she had her own turnkey cleaning service, so she made us go to work with her. I think I started washing the walls. I was 8 years old. I was washing the baseboards. But I used to tell people, that's all she want to do. And she always made me go to church. And I was in the Sunbeam Choir and the Youth Culture Club Choir. And she had me, my first job was with the church. And we had little stands inside of the Atlanta Braves Stadium. So that was my first job with the church. And then I realized as I grew older, I realized what my grandmother had instilled in me and what she was instilling into me. And once I realized what she was instilling into me, I grabbed hold to it. Everything else, I dropped it at the wayside. And I held on to what my grandmother instilled in me because I knew what she had been trying to tell me all those years. I had been this naive little young girl. So I held on to it. And I'm telling you, it hasn't failed me yet. It hasn't failed me yet. She told me that I told always trust in God. Always like from my heart. I used to get mad because I'm a nurturer. I'm for some reason I love hard and I want to help everybody. I just want to help everybody. I want to see about everybody. That's just who I am. And if I'm not doing that, I'm not happy when I'm not doing it. And for me to not like right now, not at the point to be able to do it, it kind of grieves me like right now because I'm down and sick and stuff. But that's my personality. I always wanted to do it. And for me to be at this point like here where I am, or even just how people act funny, like people act funny once you get sick or what, they just I don't know the logic or what for it, but for me I just got a big heart and I just want to share with everybody. I just got a big heart and I just want to anybody I can save, swoop up, anybody I can get to go to heaven. I want you to go. I'm trying to take you with me. Let's go. And that's where I'm going. And I have people to call me. My husband used to call me, ex-husband rather. He used to call me grandma. He said she act like he tell everybody she act like an old grandma. Um, and then my cousin always jokingly called me grandma. But it never bothered me that they call me grandma because I am who I am.
Yeah,
And I am who I am. And I like me. I like who I am. I nurture on everybody. If anything's going on with any of the youngest kids in my family, like the ones in college and the ones that age group, they always call me. And a lot of times the family don't know that they call me. They come to my house. They talk to me about stuff that they have going on. I try to get them advice. I try to talk to them about credit and their career decisions and stuff. Just trying to give them finances. I try to talk to them about finances, their bank accounts, and just anything trying to promote positivity anywhere. Even I can be in the store and I'll stop and be, oh, you need help, you need this. It wasn't a time before I wasn't when I was well. If I seen an elder checking out at the grocery store, excuse me, pause that for me. I would suspend my transaction to make sure they got out to the car because that's who I am.
yeah,
That's my heart. That's what I love to do. And I mean, I can't take it back. I guess everybody not gonna like who I am, but I can't do nothing but be me.
yeah. And I think like me. So I got this song for you. Hope I changed it up. So just bear with me. He knows your name. He knows your name. He knows your name. He knows your name. Oh, how he walks with you. Oh, how he talks with you. Oh, how he tells you that you are his own. He knows your name. He knows your name. He knows your name. He knows your name. Oh, how he comforts you. Oh, how he counsels you. Yes, it amazes you that he is your friend.
You know the Bible
So
says
now
when
he
he might
pours out
to go back,
his heart to
he
you.
will lead the 99 to go get the one.
That's right.
Everybody is best. Everybody is special to God.
Here
Everybody,
in
whoever you are,
his presence, you are made new.
come on, let's go home.
So now he pours out his heart to you. Here in his presence, you are made new. He knows your name. He knows your name. He knows your name. He knows your name. Oh, how he walks with you. Oh, how he talks with you. Oh, how he tells you that you are his own. He knows your name. He knows your name. He knows your name. No fire can burn you. No battle can turn you. No mountain can stop you. 'Cause he holds your hand. Now you're walking in his victory. 'Cause his power within you. No giant can defeat you. 'Cause he holds your hand. No fire can burn you. No battle can turn you. No mountain can stop you. 'Cause you're in his hands. And you're walking in his victory. 'Cause his power within you. No giant can stop you, 'cause you're in his hand. You're in his hand. No battle can turn you, no mountain can stop you, 'cause you're in his hand. He holds your hand. He holds your hand. He holds your hand. He holds your hand. He holds, he knows your name. He knows your name. He knows your name. He knows your name. Oh, how he walks with you. Oh, how he talks with you. Oh, how he tells you. You are his own. That was for you. To let you know that God knows your name. I changed it to fit the situation.
Thank you. That was my. That really touched my heart.
Yeah, God knows your name, so don't worry, don't fret, don't cry. God knows my name. God knows everybody's name on this earth. And don't give up. Don't give up, please. The world needs us. The world needs everybody to stand up and show that we can make it.
Mm. He knows your name. He knows your name.
That's right, he knows your name.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And blessed by the best.
Yeah.
For the best.
And you can reach Miss Banks at Woo Banks on Instagram. And how can I reach you on LinkedIn?
It's Indrian S. Banks.
Okay, yes.
Then I have a Twitter account, and it's Who's Clues.
Who's Clues? Okay, Who's Clues? And Miss Banks, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me. It was,
Breathe.
yeah.
Remember, breathe. When the waters of life cover you up, you can breathe.
Mm-hmm. Brave.
You know what? Aquaman is not the only one who can breathe underwater.
We can too. We can
Yeah,
too.
that's right. Aquaman is not on. We can breathe underwater too.
We definitely do. You know your name. All you gotta do is give him your hand. That's all you gotta do. Give
That's
him,
right. And
give him.
yeah, and I have to give a shout out to one of my sponsors. This sponsor is Jennifer Geigo, Epicure Leader.
Mhm.
That's JENNIFERGEIELE. Epicure, EPICUR Leader.
Mhm.
And she has a healthy
Cool.
food. She works for them, and we can have good and healthy, nutritious food. And the and the website is Jennifer Geigo Epicure.com. That's JENIFERGEICURE.com. And then I can say this. Miss Banks, keep pushing, keep striving, and I want to see you be successful, which I know you're gonna be. And I just want to thank you again. Any last words to our guests?
Um, Thank you for everybody who showed up today to listen. We come to educate um, and just teach you about us and let you know that we still normal. We still require love. We still need to be watered, and we want to water you too. Um, and just before sometimes they say don't judge a book by its cover, and I just want people to remember that that's a saying that is carried from generation to generation. Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening.
And my last word is
And thank God.
yes. And my last word. This is going on my new YouTube channel called The Encouragement Zone. It's meant to encourage us to push forward. And if you and I only got two, I only got two videos on there right now, but I'll be adding more to it. So look out for the videos, and when you're feeling down and out, just take a inspirational vitamin from us to you to give you the strength to go forward and to push forward. And we would like to thank Kimberly Baker and Amy Wilson and Marjorie Stanley Wimbush for joining us today. You made this show. We didn't make the show because we cannot talk unless somebody listen. So thank you for listening and have a great day and go with God. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.